You walk into a room. Nobody looks. You speak. Nobody listens. You try. Nobody cares. And deep inside, you wonder what's wrong with you. But here's the truth they won't tell you. Nothing is wrong with you. What's wrong is that you've been living like a ghost in your own life. Walking around asking for permission to exist. Waiting for someone to notice you before you notice yourself. Carl Jung said something that will change everything for you. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." You think women aren't attracted to you because of your looks, your money, or your height. But the real reason is simpler and harder to accept. You haven't become conscious of who you are. You're sleepwalking. And women can sense it from across the room. Today, you're going to wake up. I'm going to show you 9 habits, not tricks, not games. Real habits that will make you the kind of man women feel pulled toward without knowing why. These aren't things you do to get her. These are things you do to become yourself. And when you finally become yourself, everything changes. Let's begin. First, own your shadow. Carl Jung taught us about the shadow. That dark part of yourself you pretend doesn't exist. The anger, the jealousy, the selfishness, the fear. Most men spend their lives running from it, smiling when they want to scream, agreeing when they want to argue. But when you reject your shadow, it controls you. It leaks out. You become passive-aggressive. You people please. You explode at random moments. Women feel that chaos inside you. So, the first habit is simple but brutal. Own your shadow. Look at the parts of yourself you hate and accept them. Say out loud, "Yes, I get jealous sometimes. Get hungry. I want things for myself." When you accept these parts, they stop controlling you. You become whole. You become real. And real is what women are starving for. They don't want perfect. They want honest. A man who knows his darkness and chose his light anyway. That's power. That's presence. Next, speak less and mean more. Most men talk too much. They explain and justify, filling every silence with noise because silence scares them. But when you over-explain, your words become background noise. She stops hearing you. Jordan Peterson talks about precision in speech. Before you speak, ask yourself, does this need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Right now. If the answer is no, stay quiet. Watch what happens when you practice this. In conversations, pause. Let the silence sit there. That discomfort is you breaking free from the need to please. Women notice this. They notice when a man is comfortable in silence, when his words are chosen, not thrown. It makes them curious, and curiosity is the beginning of attraction. Greene wrote, "The more you say, the more common you appear." Stop trying to impress. Start trying to express. The third habit, build something bigger than her. Here's a hard truth. If she's the most important thing in your life, she'll lose respect for you. A man needs a mission more than he needs a woman. Your mission is yours alone. It could be building a business, mastering a craft, helping your community. Whatever it is, it has to matter to you more than anyone's opinion. When you have that, women don't complete you. Taehoinju. These first 3 habits are your foundation. Own your shadow. Speak with intention. Build your mission. When you do these things, you stop being the man who chases. You become the man who attracts. But we're just getting started. The next 6 habits will take you even deeper. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Has she ever tested you? Said something sharp, something that cuts, just to see how you'll react? Most men do one of 2 things. They either collapse and apologize for just existing, or they get angry and fire back. But both reactions show the same thing. You're being controlled. You're not choosing your response. You're just a puppet on strings. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius faced this every day. People betrayed him, lied to him, disrespected him. Yet he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The man who controls his reactions controls his life. The man who can't is controlled by everyone around him. So what does this look like in real life? Imagine she says something passive-aggressive like, "Oh, you're wearing that." The average guy crumbles. What's wrong with it? Should I change? Or A attacks. What's your problem? But the man who has mastered himself does something different. He pauses. He looks at her calmly, maybe with a slight smile, and says, "Yeah, I am." Then he just continues with his day. He didn't take the bait. He didn't defend or attack. He simply existed in his own truth. That strength is magnetic. Now she knows she can't shake him, and that makes her feel something most women rarely feel around men. Safety. The safety of knowing you won't fall apart when things get hard. Next, are you always available? Always texting back instantly. Always free when she calls. You think it shows you care, but it really shows you have nothing else going on. And that's not attractive, Nietzsche said. In solitude, the lonely man consumes himself. In solitude, the self-sufficient man grows stronger. So, schedule time alone, not to play games, but because you genuinely need it. Use that time to think, to plan, to work on your mission. Read a book, train your body, or just sit in silence and get to know yourself. When you spend time alone doing important things, you become interesting. You have depth. And when you see her again, you're not the same man. You've grown. A man who knows how to be alone is a man who knows how to be whole. Then there's the lie that men should never show emotion. The truth is, women want a man who feels deeply, but isn't destroyed by his feelings. The key is selective vulnerability. You don't dump all your trauma on the first date. But as she earns your trust, you let her see deeper. You share your past struggles, not to get sympathy, but to show her you survived, you grew, you became stronger. A warrior says, "Life happened to me, and I chose to build myself back stronger." Sharing your story from a place of strength creates a powerful connection. Finally, watch how you move. Are you rushed, anxious, hunched over? Your body language screams insecurity. The habit is simple. Slow down, walk with purpose. Stand tall. Sit fully. Be present in your body. It's not about showing off. It's about embodying the inner strength you've built. When you master your mind, embrace your own life, and share your journey with intention, your body naturally reflects that power. You move differently because you are different. Thanks for watching. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Your body is the first argument you make to the world. Before you say a word, your posture, your pace, your presence, they all speak for you. So here's a practice that can change everything. For just 1 week, move like you're worth $1 million. Not arrogant, just valuable. When you reach for something, reach with intention. When you turn your head, turn it fully, not with that nervous half-glance. When you make eye contact, hold it for 3 seconds before looking away naturally. This might feel uncomfortable at first because you're not used to taking up space. You've been taught to shrink, to blend in. But blending in is exactly why you're invisible. The man who moves with intention stands out by being grounded, not loud. Women pick up on this instantly. They see a man who walks into a room and doesn't scan for approval, who sits down without immediately hiding behind his phone, and something in them responds. This man is different. He's centered. As Jordan Peterson says, standing up straight with your shoulders back is psychological. It changes your brain chemistry, making you feel more confident. The outside shapes the inside. So start now. Sit up, roll your shoulders back, and feel yourself occupying your space without apology. Now, let's talk about where most men destroy attraction. They say one thing and do another. Every broken promise is a small death to their character. As Nietzsche said, "I'm not upset that you lied to me. I'm upset that from now on I can't believe you." Without trust, there is no real attraction. So honor your word like law. The Stoics lived by a simple rule. Say less, do more. Don't just tell her you're going to the gym. Go. Don't talk about building a business. Build it. Let your actions speak for you. Your word to yourself matters most. When you say you'll wake up at 5 a.m., do it. This builds unshakable self-respect that radiates outward. Women sense this solidity. They see you're not just talking about being a man. You are one. Start small. Promise yourself you'll drink 8 glasses of water. Then do it. These small victories build momentum and prove you're trustworthy. Finally, think about your day. Do you create or just consume? Waking up and scrolling for hours breeds emptiness. Carl Jung sighed, who looks outside, dreams, who looks inside, awakes. Creating is how you awaken. It's pulling something from your inner world and giving it form. That's purpose. Women are drawn to men who create, not because of what you create, but because it shows you have depth. When you're creating, you become outcome independent. You're not waiting for a text because you're busy building something excellent. Your attention is valuable because it's directed toward creation. Channel your inner drive into building something meaningful. This could be better health through training, knowledge through study, or value by helping others. The form doesn't matter. The act of creating does. It breaks the cycle of desire and boredom, turning you into a man in constant growth. These habits aren't tricks, they're transformations. Start today. Thanks for watching. Let me show you what your life looks like when you live these 9 habits together. Because they're not separate, they're connected. Each one feeds the others, making them stronger. You wake up early, not to impress anyone, but because you honor your word to yourself. That's habit 8. You spend the first hour in solitude. No phone, no distractions. You journal about your shadow, the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. That's habits 1 and 5, working together. You write about your mission, the thing you're building that's bigger than any relationship. Habit 3, you go to the gym, moving with intention. Each rep deliberate, each set purposeful. You're not just building muscle, you're building discipline. You're creating instead of consuming. At work, someone tries to trigger you, insulting your idea. The old you would have crumbled or defended immediately. But now, you've mastered your reactions. That's habit. You pause, you breathe, you respond with calm clarity. Your colleagues, notice they respect you more because you don't waste time with noise. Later, she texts you a passive-aggressive comment. You respond hours later, not playing games, but because you were genuinely busy creating something meaningful. Your response is brief, clear, and strong. You don't react. You respond. She feels the difference. That evening she asks about your day. You don't dump everything on her. You're selective with your vulnerability. You share one meaningful challenge you overcame. You let her see your depth without drowning her in your problems. She leans in, curious about the man you've become. This is integration. This is what happens when the habits become your nature. You're no longer trying to remember what to do. You're simply being who you've become. And that version of you is magnetic because it's real. It's earned. But let me be honest, this is hard. Really hard. These habits will force you to face everything you've been running from. Your weakness, your excuses. Most men quit when they get close to that pain. They go back to scrolling, back to blaming others. But your fear of being alone is the reason you need solitude. Your fear of discipline is the reason you need to honor your word. The thing you're running from is exactly what you need to run toward. So, here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, live these 9 habits like your life depends on it. Days 1 through 10. Focus on the foundation. Own your shadow. Speak less. Start building something that matters to you. Days 11 through 20. Focus on mastery. Control your reactions. Schedule time alone. Share one vulnerable truth. Days 21 through 30. Focus on embodiment. Move through the world like you matter. Keep every promise you make to yourself. Create something every single day. At the end of 30 days, you won't be the same man. Because transformation isn't about learning. It's about becoming someone new through consistent action. You've made it to the end. That already puts you ahead of most. But watching isn't enough. You have to live this, starting right now. Close this video and take one action. Journal for 10 minutes. Practice speaking less. Just one action to prove to yourself that you're serious. You are what you choose to become, starting now. If you felt this, share it with one man who needs to hear it. Subscribe to Rockstar Love Therapy, because we're just getting started. And comment below which habit you're starting with today. Let's build a community of men who are actually doing the work. Now go. Stop watching, start becoming.